Hello, good to see you here. Today, we're going to have a talk around self esteem. How important is self esteem when you think about that? While you're thinking about that, I'm also going to present to you 5 important points to consider when we're looking at self esteem. And this is something that I came up with while I was doing a 21-day online crew video challenge with Helen Martin. And one of the things that I interviewed a friend of mine about was self-esteem. And I don't talk about it as much anymore, but it used to be a really big problem for me. I had little to no self-esteem when I was really, really younger. So, as you know, he happened to mention that when we were talking and we are talking about what we might talk about during his interview. I just decided that this was something that I'd like to bring to you, especially today at the beginning of the week, give you something to think about, give you something to take a look at, and, evaluate yourself, see what you think, take a self check and see how you're doing. Um, and I'll give you some things to go by. But first, I want to give you this simple, sorry, eye drops that I have to do every night and 2 times a day. My eyes just get really dry. So, anyway, um, oh, let me do this before because I will probably get off track. So, I'm going to go on to introduce myself first before I read this definition for you. My name is Cherie Woodard, and I help business builders and entrepreneurs to be able to come online, use the power of social media to get prospects. I can't talk again. Prospects, leads, and sales in their business. And I do that in a variety of ways. I use attraction marketing, lead generation, video marketing, as well as branding. I also use updated and modern strategies and tips to help people that come to listen to me to be able to grow their business, that aren't going to settle for the status quo. They're shooting for the stars like I am. And I am in the industry just like you. I'm building my business alongside you, maybe a step or two ahead, maybe more, maybe less. But I have information that I learn that then I turn around and want to help by giving you that information. And I usually would like to always offer something free. And as I'm working on my free other PDFs and stuff, I do have one free gift that is a free training series. And it talks about um, attracting rather than chasing people, having people come to you because of what you have, because of the person that you are, because of how how your posture is, because of the things that you say and, the helps that you give. So that is basically what I do before I go off on another tangent. But that's basically what I do. So I will have on the video when it's downloaded information that you can find the free video series and check it out. So let's get back to my topic at hand today, and that is self-esteem. Making sure the chat's okay. So please, please be interactive with me. Put your questions, your comments, your opinions, drop them in the chat. You can do it for those of you that are with me live. If you can do it live, that'll be great. And for those of you that are watching us on the replay, you can do it as well. And I will get back with you as soon as I can, as soon as I notice that there's someone there that's got a question, and what have you. And a lot of times I answer questions and stuff once I get offline. Sometimes people just drop by and I'll pull them up for a second and just let them be seen, hey, here's so and so, or whatever. And especially if they make a good point, which a lot of people do. So here, let's dry mouth again too. But I don't think that's attributed to the eye drops. I think that's just me not drinking enough water. Need to get back to my big purple jug and start drinking. But anyway, so what is self-esteem in simple words? Now I have notes down here and I have my other screen over here. So I'm going to read to you what it says is a simple definition of self-esteem. In psychology, the term self-esteem is used to describe a person's overall subjective sense of personal worth or value. In other words, self-esteem may be defined as how much you appreciate yourself, regardless of the circumstances. And that is something that I didn't have and I didn't do when I was so much younger. When I started being bullied and, called all types of terrible names like Zit Face or Rocky Road or, and then since I was very strong physically, then they called me other names, which were really just not nice. But I don't know. I don't know what makes people do that kind of thing. I think that they may be having some issues themselves and they take it out on other people that they don't think can really defend themselves or, stand up to them. And back in the day, I was just kind of quiet, And I tell people that, they laugh because they're like, quiet, you never. You settling for somebody calling you something and you not pummeling them. They think that's hilarious, and because they don't believe it. But yeah, I had my time in the shooting barrel, where, like they're shooting fish or whatever they used to do in the barrel. I can't remember, but I did suffer with that, and it took me a while to get over it. It took me up until, oh gosh, I know I had gone to college, and somewhere along the way in college, my self-esteem started to slowly change, but it still took a while. And because I didn't know what I was dealing with, I didn't know what was happening. I just didn't feel like I was worth anything. And one of the, when I was doing the research, one of the things it said that really hit home to me is that a lot of people with low self-esteem don't look in the mirror. And I didn't look in the mirror for years. I didn't even see me changing. I didn't see the zits leaving. It's just, it's amazing how our mind works and how we can be so bound that we can't break free. But the thing is, we can break free, and there are ways to do that. So let me go on and move on. So I've given you a definition for self-esteem, and then I want to talk about what you would expect to see in someone that has a high self-esteem. You would expect to see confidence, strength, belief in themselves, love for themselves, regardless to what someone says. It can't break them down. It can't make them cry. It can't make them upset. It can't make them fight. They let's see here. They are comfortable in their own skin. They can accept compliments. People with low self-esteem have difficulty accepting compliments, and I was one of those. When someone did say something nice to me, I was so used to the negative and the mean and that kind of thing. So when someone did say something nice to me, then I was like, oh, not really. No, that's okay. So, as I grew older and I learned all of this stuff and started changing myself and loving myself, and I'm not perfect, but I have a lot of love for me. I have a lot of qualities. I have a lot of strengths, not perfect, but I am nothing like I was when I was, allowing people to bully me. And maybe if I had just beat the heck out of somebody one time, maybe that would have worked. And I did kind of tell the story. I had been bullied so much and just was so fed up with it. I'll tell you this story and then I'll move on. Okay, I'm looking at the clock. So and I told the story like once, maybe a couple of times, but there is you just feel like you have no friends in the world, or if you do, they're very few and far between. And so, I'm sitting in class one day, and there's this guy sitting behind me. And of course, we ended up having the same last names, no kin, but we have the same last names. And I hope you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can't hear me because I'm using headphones because my 19-year-old is a little busy. So I try to let him do what he needs to do, but try to still get done with things that I need to do. So anyway, the guy kept poking his hand through the back of my chair, touching my backside. And that really started to bother me. And I kept saying, stop, and he wouldn't stop. And all of a something welled up inside of me to the point where I just stood up, jumped up, wasn't stood up, I jumped up, grabbed his desk, because we used to have those desks that the desk part was attached to the chair. I grabbed the desk with him in it and chair, and I just picked it up and threw it down on the floor. So, so he ended up kind of, a little damaged, and I think more so damaged was his self-esteem, or his, the way he felt about it, because he thought that I was the one that you could continually pick on and I wouldn't do anything, but he was actually touching me, and that I could not abide. I couldn't stand it, and I just snapped. And so as he's on the floor and I'm standing there, I'm just standing there looking at him, and I'm angry, I'm hurt, I'm scared to death. Inside, I was shaking to my core. He jumps up in my face, and he stands like about this far away from my face, and he's yelling at me, "What do you think you are? Are you crazy or something?" Or whatever he said. And I stood there, and I knew that this is a guy, he can probably pummel me, but I'm gonna give him, heck, I'm not moving. I'm not moving. So I stood there, and my whole body was shaking from the inside, from my core to the outside, and I could feel it, but I would not move. I would not change my stance. I had my legs in position, so if he tried to knock me down, I wouldn't go down. I already had it in my head. Whatever move he went at to try to get me, I was gonna, counteract that move and try to knock some sense into him. But anyway, he actually, because he didn't hit me, then the class started talking about him and yelling at him, calling him, "Oh, you let a girl," this and that, and this, whatever. So, he ended up actually leaving that school and going to another school, and another high school. And I think because the pressure was just too much for him. But the pressure that I had dealt with all, for so long, and I continued to deal with it. They just started calling me other names on top of the names they were already calling me, but they didn't come close to me. They didn't touch me. And that was, I was used to them saying things, so I was able to keep going. But, it's self-esteem is so important, and we need to be aware, become self-aware, to be able to find what it is in us that there, because we have so many qualities, we don't even know it, because all we hear is those voices telling us that we're nothing. And what we need to do is replace it with our own voice saying, I am somebody. I am beautiful. I am strong. I am what God made me to be. And I will not bow down to someone who wants to make me feel like spit. So, just those are some of the things that are important, because when we're dealing with low self-esteem, we're dealing with a lack of self-love. I'm looking at my notes, a lack of self-belief, no confidence or very little. And we also don't do self-care. We don't think about ourselves. We think about helping others, but we don't do anything to help ourselves. And this is something that, unless somebody's aware and can help you and, can guide you, until you find it yourself, unless you find it yourself, then you may be stuck. And once you find out these important things that you need to be you, and you can do it, is confidence. And these are the positive attitude things that you need to, which is basically the same things that I said about high self-esteem. But confidence, positive attitude, self-awareness, gratitude, generosity. Those are just some of the things. And then some of the causes of self-esteem issues could be troublesome childhood. It could be, maybe just from like what I went through myself, as well as some kids are, getting it from their parents. They're just hearing that they're not nothing, that they won't ever be anything. They get it from teachers, people that are, that they look up to. I mean, we're kids, we're down here, we're looking up at these people, and they're telling us that we'll never be anything. And that can really, really cause a lot of issues. And a lot of kids that do poorly in school, they have low confidence, and then they just feel like they're nothing. And that's not right. And then there's also, I've got stress, bills, loss of relationships, so it doesn't just have to start when you're a kid. Primarily, I think a lot of it starts there, but it can also be from things that happen in your life. Say you had a life partner, and you were, married, and have maybe have kids or whatever. And then after 20, 30 years or something, then that relationship breaks up. Of course, there were probably issues before, but you couldn't see them. And that person never talked to you about them, I guess. And it makes you feel like you've lost something. And what you've lost is your self-esteem. You just feel like you're not worth it. You feel like you're not worthwhile, and you really are. So to improve self-esteem, it's important to become assertive, even if you have to do assertiveness trainings. I know people that do that. Look at the positives in your life, realize who you are and how good you are and how blessed you are. Get rid of negative beliefs. When they come into your mind, have a phrase or something that you can say, or speak to that, whatever that negative is, and say, you're a lie. Because I am, what I do sometimes is, I am a child of God. I am worth it. I am on this earth for a reason, and I will do what it is that I'm here to do. Nothing that you can say, nothing that you can try to say and tell me that it's not good, that I'm not going, nothing that yada, yada, yada. I won't let that voice overpower me. You know, um, let's see what else. And then the people you hang around. That's the other thing. If the people you hang around are just, beating you down, you need to find some different people to hang around. And the 5 people that you hang around the most are the people that you're either going to be like, or you're going to be their whipping boy. And you don't want to be that. So I hope that this information was helpful for you. I really enjoyed when I did the interview with my friend Kevin. It was just awesome. And he just had all of this stuff, because it's one of the things that he likes to check out. And talk about and learn about and grow in. And so everything that I have on this paper that I took notes on that I wanted to use, in our conversation, he had already had it in his head and he would just speak it out, which was wonderful. So remember, you are worth it. No matter what anyone says, no matter what your circumstances look like, look beyond that and see who you really are. Become self aware, be the person that you are supposed to be. And with that, I'm going to go on and I know I'm trying to be respectful of your time. So, and I'm going a little bit, I've been talking for a little while, so I better go on and stop this, cut it off now. So I will have the information on the video when it's downloaded in the comments section, and it will help you to be able to see. It's a series, and it's a very short, short, like maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes or something like that, for each little piece. And you can then take that information and see what it's like to not have to chase people, those people that are like me, those business builders out there that are like me, those entrepreneurs that are out there like me. See what it's like to actually have people reaching out to you. It's an amazing feeling. It's amazing. And I wish nothing but the best for you. So let me do some housekeeping things really, really quick. Keep your notifications on so you know when I'm going live. Remember that we're still walking through the stuff we're walking through. Do the best you can to keep you, your family, your friends, and others safe. I follow the CDC guidelines. Remember, there are people out there that are isolated that a phone call, text message, email, or even trying to get them on a Zoom might really brighten their day, as well as we are continuing to walk through the stuff that we're walking through. So for us who pray, continue to lift us and our world, because we're all in this together. As we continue to walk through this, we will make it to the other side. We will be the stronger for it. So wherever you are in the world, no matter what time it is for you, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, nighttime, sleepy time, always make it the best that you can make it. Always be the best that you can be. God bless, God keep. And I will see you again tomorrow on another live. Take care. Talk soon. Think about what I've said. Bye now.